Thanks for joining us here on 9 News Plus. I'm Chris Bianchi. Well, of course, the big news of today, the passing of Queen Elizabeth at the age of 96. I should say Queen Elizabeth II. And for a bit more about this and a bit more of a kind of a personal connection of what Queen Elizabeth meant to the United Kingdom and specifically, of course, in England as well, we're now joined by my cousin, my godmother, Emma Van Claveren Finley, who is English. My full transparency, my father was English as well. And Emma joins us from South London. And Emma, I wanted to start things by just asking you about your initial reaction as a Brit, as an Englishwoman. What's your reaction to hearing about the Queen passing here?
Yeah, well, it's very shocking. We always knew this day would come, but here we are. And I mean, she was an old lady, so we knew it was going to happen. But yeah, it's sad for our country because she's been a role model for everybody as long as everybody can remember. She has done her duty perfectly. She's never been interviewed. She's never caused scandal. She's just immaculate. And how will anybody ever live up to her example?
Absolutely. And it's something I think that a lot of the time, when we hear about the Queen, that people speak about how she was kind of a role model. I don't know if there's any sort of specific instance or story or time where you saw her acting that way that kind of struck you. Any specific stories or memories that you'll come away with from the Queen?
And I just think the way she lived her life, I mean, her very long marriage, her very long reign, is exemplary. The institutions she created, like the Commonwealth, very impressive before her time. Yeah, I've full of admiration and grateful we had her.
I guess Emma, I know you've spent. I know that you spent quite a bit of time here in the U.S., and I think you're fairly familiar with an American mindset. I guess the question I would have as well is, could you explain to an American why this is such a big deal for the United Kingdom? Why this is such a big deal for your country? Because of course, the Queen, as a monarch, she has really a lot of more. Her power is obviously not, it's more limited. The prime minister is the one
Yeah,
with the real power. That can you explain to an American why this is such a big deal?
I think the buzzword is continuity. You're
Hmm.
right, she has no actual power. She never expresses a political opinion in public. But it's a sense of continuity, history, stability, all those three things that are so rare in today's modern world, aren't they? And also just it, I think it's been a long period of time, and things happen so quickly nowadays. And the years that she spent doing her job so perfectly is impressive. Not many people have done that ever.
For sure. And also, I guess one other thing that kind of comes to mind, something we were speaking about off camera here just a few moments ago. This is obviously a fairly tumultuous week for the UK as well. The Queen
Mhm.
just on Tuesday meeting Liz Truss, the new Prime Minister, as well. How is the UK? How are the English feeling about what's been, again, a pretty topsy-turvy week?
Yeah, well, personally, I'm glad Boris Johnson has gone. I feel like the kids have left Downing Street and the adults have now moved in. Thank God. Um, yeah, it's too soon to say how she'll perform, but so far I'm impressed.
And obviously, this will be a big challenge for her moving forward. I guess, any final thoughts about the Queen, what she meant to you, and what she means to the UK?
Well, I expect the world will see what she meant to the UK over the next week. I would imagine she'll have a state funeral in a week. That's the usual order of things, and I'm sure it'll be a very sad week. There are already public events being cancelled and gardens being closed already tonight. Things are moving pretty fast, so yeah, it's going to be a weird one, but yeah, and then we'll obviously have a coronation, King Charles III.
New,
So
new, yes, I
new
mean,
era.
uh, new King Charles III will
Yeah,
be the new heir to the throne here with Queen
yeah,
Elizabeth II passing here. So
yeah.
I guess any initial thoughts about how he'll live up to his mother's standard?
Well, time isn't on his side. He's 70, so he will not manage to outdo his mother on the length of his reign. Um, but I think he's been ahead of his time in a lot of areas, like the environment, for example. Um, so I think he's got a lot to offer. He's very careful, considered, kind man. So um, I think he'll do great.
Well, certainly looking forward to seeing how Charles III will soon do. But Emma, more importantly, we really appreciate a few minutes of your time offering some of your insight here about the passing of Queen Elizabeth II. And I'm sure I'll catch up with you soon, but for
Yeah,
our viewers out there, it's really nice catching up with you. And again, thank you for lending us
sure.
your perspective.
Sure.